So I am looking at the hop-up unit, and normally what ARES does with their hop-up unit is the barrel is kind of a custom made or proprietary to ARES, that the barrel kind of integrates a little bit with the hop-up unit. So they don't really use a spacer. Actually, it's the spacer, or what they do is they have their proprietary barrel and they have a little spacer unit that connects to the hop-up unit. However, that looks like that the CCPs, or the Amoeba pistol series, looks like that they use the same hop-up unit, but obviously they use a, looks like somebody is manufacturing their inner barrel. And actually, from the looks of it, it almost looks like it's made from the same company as Prometheus. Actually, it looks really close to my Prometheus barrels. Obviously it's brass, so it looks pretty decent and clean inside the inner barrel. Shiny, what can I say? So what I'm gonna do now is change it to the GMP bucking unit, and the GMP max accuracy comes with nub and a brass spacer, but I wouldn't use the brass spacer because you could tell that the dimensions on the hop-up unit, the stock one, is a little bit thinner on the outer lip, so probably if I used the brass spacer I'd be off by a millimeter or two, so I probably wouldn't be able to put it back in the upper on very easy, because the barrel is the hop-up unit actually is stopping me from closing it up. So what I'm going to do is, like I said, use the GMP bucking, which has done very well with the accuracy and tightening up. And the ARES stock hop-up bucking is not that bad, actually. It's actually pretty decent. But I like the GMP because it puts a little bit more accuracy on it. And of course, when you're pulling out ARES bucking, you have to be careful that you don't tear it, because it's really thin. So you just have to take a little bit more care, and it'll come right out. But I'm gonna save it for future use because it's actually pretty decent, like I said. But I like GMP bucking unit, so I'm gonna put that in, clean up the inner barrel, and put the gearbox, hop-up unit, and put the whole pistol back together. And I just ordered the ball bearing short spring guide from Red Wolf. So far eHobby Asia and Airsoft Peak has been pretty good to me. But normally eHobby Asia has most of the ARES parts that you need. Red Wolf sells a couple stuff, and probably if the ARES EFCS units give out, actually they sell them for $38 on Red Wolf, and that's the only vendor I know that sells it. So if you live in America, well, unfortunately you have to order to these Asian companies. But so far eHobby Asia and we'll see if Red Wolf pulls through. So those look like the two big vendors that you could buy parts for your ARES guns, really. So alright, so we'll put it together and we'll give it a test try. Alright, so just for fun, what I did was I measured the inner barrel, and it's 103 millimeters. So I figured you can get a replacement barrel. You have to find inner barrel. You have to find 100 millimeter inner barrel, or you could go up maybe 110 if you want to protrude out of the barrel. But just wanted to give you guys a look to see how big the inner barrel was. So it is pretty small. So, oops, that could have ended badly, but now you guys know, when you decide to change the inner barrel on these CCPs or these Amoeba series pistols, you probably could do 110. Maybe I'll try it. and see what happens. But like I said, the inner barrel right now looks pretty good. Looks like a Prometheus 605 type bore or something like that, but probably the reason why it has a lot of accuracy to it stock. So let's put it together. Like I said, said 100 times, so we'll go from here. Alright, assembling the gun. So decided to go with the Lonix A2. I'm thinking, according to my calculations, I should be shooting between 23-25 RPS with the gun, which would be good enough with for CQB. Put in the GMP bucking unit. I plan to keep the inner barrel for now. Seems pretty accurate, so maybe I might, like I said, change it later for accuracy. But so far it looks like the stock inner barrel might be due. It serves its purpose, actually. It's been pretty impressive shooting 75 feet with it, so don't see real immediate to change it, and figuring that I got the GMP bucking in there, definitely will shoot a little bit tighter. Like I said, so here I am. I'm gonna change the spring to a Sistema M100. The Sistemas tend to be a little bit stronger than the Matrix M100 springs, so I figure changing down to the M100 spring, I'm probably gonna lose, I'd say, a good 40 FPS, 280, but with the red sealing it off with the new SHS air nozzle, I should regain back that 320. So only really changing the spring for the purposes of really just to put less stress on the gearbox. So I'm kind of gearing more for reliability. So trying to keep using the Lonix A2 for its known efficiency and battery and energy, and using a spring M100 spring to not to put so much stress on the gearbox. So hopefully when it's all done and true, like I said, it'll shoot 320 FPS at 23 rounds per second. So getting there, and also put in the Deans, so that should also reduce some of the heat on running the gun. Well, I guess I should note that when you're running on the stock configuration on 11.1, this is a 11.1 1000 milliamp 15C. It's a really small battery. Actually, you really need to run a small battery on that housing. So definitely, like I said, it's not a cheap battery. So one thing I did notice, that it was heating up the battery a little bit, and motor was getting a little bit warm even after only shooting a couple of shots and a couple of full auto shots. So I figured going with the Deans and shimming up everything in the M100 spring and using a stronger motor, I figure it should run pretty cool. So hopefully next cut I'll be able to put the whole gun together.